Welcome to PDAC 2023. My name is Julien Desrosiers from the IIF. I'm here joined today by Marz. Hi Marz, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. So Marz, can you first introduce yourself and the company you're working for, please?
Sure. My name is Marz. I'm the President and CEO of Wallbridge Mining. Wallbridge trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange under the symbol WM.
All right, and then so in which commodity are you guys?
We're strictly focused on gold. We did have some nickel assets that we spun out to a company called Archer Exploration for us to be able to continue focusing on our gold assets along the D2 Fenelon gold trend.
Okay, and this is obviously located up north in Quebec or on the Ontario side?
No, all of our assets now are in Quebec. In fact, our gold assets are along the D2 Fenelon gold trend. This is actually the Saint Lake Deformation Zone, which was responsible for the gold deposition at D2 Lake. And we actually own about 97 kilometer stretch of the land contiguous from the Ontario border all the way to the east.
So you're by far the biggest landowner in that region, is that right?
We certainly believe so, but however, I haven't really measured that against other companies. So.
That's good. So you just throw in Detour Lake, one of the biggest mines, obviously proven gold-bearing sector. Can you tell us about the exploration you did, maybe highlights, results you got,
sure.
and what happened in the last 12 months?
Yeah, so certainly when I was talking about this belt, this is actually a very emerging belt in terms of exploration. It has about 20 to 25 meters of overburden, so the exploration really started in the late 90s. And we've so far identified two large gold systems, one at Fenelon and one at Martiniere. Our Fenelon gold deposit is about 4.1 million ounces, about 60% of that in the indicated category,
okay.
and the Martiniere is about 1.3 million ounces, also about 60% in the indicated category.
And what are the grades?
The grades for the Fenelon and Martiniere both are above 3 grams a ton, and the majority of that is going to be at the Fenelon is a bulk mineable deposit, very similar to Young-Davidson of Alamos,
okay.
and where you can produce 7,000 to 8,000 ton a day at about 200,000+ ounces a year.
So this is actually very high grade for what it is.
It is certainly on the higher grade of the underground bulk mineable deposits, because we all know Young-Davidson has been mining about 2.3, 2.4 grams a ton, Agnico less than 2 grams a ton.
Exactly.
So we certainly see our resource is really respectable in terms of underground bulk mining.
Well, this is great to hear. So what are the next 12 months looking at? What are the milestones you guys want to accomplish?
So we just released our updated mineral resource estimate in January of this year, about last month, and that's where actually we came up with the 5.4 million ounces along the D2 Fenelon gold trend. We expect to deliver our preliminary economic assessment on the Fenelon deposit next quarter.
Okay.
And so that's a great milestone for us, because
sure.
that really is a stage where we can really draw the line in the sand. We certainly have not been appreciated in terms of our deposit as opposed to what the what the going rate is these days, but certainly believe that the PA is going to actually draw that line in the sand and people realize the value of the company. And in the meantime, we have a 50,000 meter drill program this year that we're going to continue at Martiniere as well as regional exploration. And once the PEA comes out, we realize what we're going to need to do at Fenelon.
Absolutely. And then PEA means also surely beginning of environmental studies, or have you already started on that phase?
Oh, we've started the environmental studies at Fenelon about almost 4 years ago. We continue to do that this year. In fact, about $3.5 million of our budget this year is actually on the studies that we're going to need to do at Fenelon, and we're going to start some studies at Martiniere, because Martiniere is about 2 to 3 years away from Fenelon in terms of stage of the project, so it requires those environmental studies that we're going to continue doing this year.
Well, this is very good to hear that you already started 4 years back, because you obviously need a lot of input into it, a lot of time, a lot of measures to be done than before, and so on. So you said about 3.5 million going into studies. That means how much cash you have on hand right now?
So we started the year with about $23.5 million in cash. We are receiving about $4 million of our 2021 refundable tax credit from the Quebec government. And we just raised about $10 million last week. So we now about we certainly believe that this year's program is fully funded, and then we'll obviously post the PEA, we're going to realize what we really need to do at Fenelon to advance that project.
Well, this is good. And then, so after the financing, what is the share structuring looking at?
So Agnico Eagle is our 9.9% shareholder, and they actually exercised their pro rata as part of the participation agreement that we had with them. Eric Sprott's about 17.7% shareholder, and the institutions hold about 10% of the company, and the balance is in the retail and other institutions who normally don't report.
Okay, and how many shares you have outstanding?
We have about 934 million shares outstanding, and that's as a result of the obviously exploration success that we've had at Fenelon since the purchase of the Fenelon property in late 2016.
And do you keep on the long term, do you see that being consolidated, or you're going to continue on that way?
We always review consolidation to see what is the best way. Obviously, consolidation in the past has always been because of the wrong reasons.
Yes,
and we want to
exactly.
make sure when we do it, it's for the right reasons.
And it's accretive to
Absolutely. So typically, the retail shareholders don't benefit from the consolidation. So we're obviously, be it half of our shareholding being in retail, we certainly are very cognizant of that. We want to make sure we do it at the right time.
Well, this is good to hear, because obviously, as you said, quite often it is done not necessarily accretive to shareholders, then you can be scared of that and so on. So it's really good to hear that you're actually trying to protect their value in the company and respecting them. And so maybe a last thought. So you are right now in Quebec. All eyes in Quebec are very much looking into battery metals and to all of it. How is it to be mining for gold, looking for gold in Quebec right now in this timing?
I think we shouldn't be looking at things on a in a short period of time. We all know that there's certain commodities that are of favor during the year or during the month. Certainly, gold is a commodity that's actually created value and has kept its value over hundreds of years, and we believe that that's still the case, even though currently the market is more interested in the battery metals.
Yeah, exactly.
But we certainly believe that the market is going to realize that the gold is still the proper safe haven.
Well, one thing is sure,
currencies.
anyone that's looking at the balance sheet of companies like Dictour Gold, like you mentioned earlier, that's your neighbor and so on, can be very much attracted into moving into the gold sphere and looking into those kind of returns.
Yeah.
So Marz, thank you very much for this update on the company. That was amazing. For everyone that was looking at the interview that we did together, everyone that's right now that wants to go online, wants to get the newsletter, want to follow your story, where can they do that?
So certainly all of our technical reports are on the CDAR under the Wallbridge Mining. .com, and our website is also wallbridgemining.com, and certainly we have a YouTube channel, we have a Twitter channel, as well as LinkedIn.
Perfect. Well, Marz, that's all the time we had. Thank you very much for your collaboration.
Thanks.